Thank you so much for joining me Saturday, July 16th, 2022, YouTube, on the podcast, wherever you're tuning in tonight. I appreciate you. Or if you're tuning in later on the go, we got the podcast up for you. Appreciate you guys for spreading this message far and wide and helping me expand this community further out. We're just here to spread the truth, nothing but the truth here on this channel. And may God be with us as we resist this evil. I appreciate all of you guys in this community. Thank you so much. Tonight's show, we titled it The Most Elite Team in Crypto. We will be covering that, and it's going to be at the end of the show, so you're going to have to stick around and listen to the whole show, where we will be talking about all of the current events that are playing out, the world stage events, and why they matter. We will be providing context. We will not just be a headline reader here on this channel. We're going to put a little explanation behind it and how we're perceiving all of these world stage events as they play out in real time. Many predictions have come true. But I'm not here to say I told you so. I'm here to say here's what's next and here's what we should be doing right now. We got no time to waste. Let's get right into it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could smash that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate you. And I love all of you in this community very much. Thank you. All right, so I do apologize for starting off this show by calling out the Biden crime family, but we got to do it. We got to do it before we get to the most elite news, the hype bullish news about XRP and that whole situation. Before we get to that, we need to call out the people that are selling us out at the very tippy top. And for those of you who are new here, I am not going to stick to crypto, bro. Thank you very much for the suggestion, but I will pass on that. And to you folks out there that are snowflakes that can't handle the truth, all I have to say is, my only question, how is your program working out? With that being said, you guys, let's just let it come out. I'm just reporting what the news is saying. I'm not saying left, right, up, down, who to vote for, who to love, what to believe in. I'm here to present the information that we come across, and you guys can make up your own mind. Materials harvested from Hunter Biden's infamous laptop revealed dozens of meetings between President Joe Biden and his son regarding business dealings, despite denials, the New York Post reported Saturday. Okay, I'm going to have to move it off this page because I can't look at that guy. I cannot look at Hunter. I can't look. These people are sick. I can't even look at the picture of him. I'm going to let it play out. I'm not going to give you my opinion. Hey, I'm just saying, here's the news. You guys decide what you want to do with it. But I'm here to say that the dam is breaking and all truth will be exposed. So you might as well come join the party. You might as well get with the program that's going to lead you to success, lead you to prosperity. Or God willing, we put up a fight till the day we die. If that's how it has to be, that's how it has to be. We will not stop. All we want is freedom. All we want is a level playing field. And if these people didn't sell us out, if these people gave us that level playing field, stay the hell out of our lives, please. Just let us make our own health decisions, our own decisions for how we want to raise our children, please. And we wouldn't have to call you out. But I'm here to tell you that that's the least of our worries, is the business dealings on that laptop. Folks, it goes a whole lot worse. I can't even touch it. I can only show the Biden crime family for a few seconds, and I just must say, let's let it play out. I can't give you guys the full. We know, we understand. It's a whole lot worse than just business dealings selling us out. It's a whole lot worse than that. But let's let it play out. I'll let you guys form your own opinion based off this. But when you got Joe Rogan himself calling Trudeau a dictator and says Canada is communist, excuse me. Okay, first off, in this episode, please excuse my language. It's a little late night. I've had an adult beverage and I might let one or two slip, but we're going rapid with the truth here tonight. And I don't have time to think about swear words right now. So I apologize. If you're listening with the kids, this might not be the episode, but you guys know me. I keep it pretty clean. But let's just read this off. Joe Rogan calls Trudeau a dictator and says Canada is communist. They're fucked. They got to get rid of that guy. When Joe Rogan, who reaches out to millions of people every single day, are watching his content, when he himself is calling out these New World Order agents like Trudeau, who have completely sold themselves out, sold out their country to that agenda. When we got Joe Rogan calling it out, and when we got the New York Post and other mainstream outlets having to address the Hunter Biden laptop and the most recent hacking of his iCloud, they have to address it now. They can't just shove it off to the side and ignore it any longer. They have to address it. And here we have even Joe Rogan addressing it. The whole damn thing is breaking down in real time. It is all being exposed. But many people are not prepared for this. And that's where they're going to get caught up in the chaos, caught up in the crisis. Let's continue on. There are currently 3 countries in the world with an ESG score over 90. This is the environmental score, whatever it is, ESG, emissions score, whatever they call it. I don't know. Sri Lanka, where government just collapsed. Ghana, where the national power supply has shut down. And Netherlands, where farmers have revolted against the state. Those are the only 3 countries with a score above or over 90. So those countries are doing good. They're not releasing much emissions, CO2s, whatever they're tracking, because their countries are literally ran out of gas. The power supply has shut down. And in Netherlands, the farmers have shut down that whole country as well. So that is the model program for how they want to roll this thing out. But in real time, we're watching it collapse, and every single one of these countries is being impacted. So Sri Lanka, full collapse. Ghana, national power supply shut down. Netherlands, shut down. Complete revolt against the agenda and what these people have lost, all their freedom. It's finally spreading worldwide, and many other countries are already taking action. Here in America, we're still enjoying our summer. In America right now, most people, their portfolios are down. They're in denial about their real estate being down. They're in denial about the whole damn system collapsing, and they just want to enjoy some burgers and beers at the barbecue. That is the situation in America right now. Now, many of you, like us here on this channel, we're tuned in, we're tapped in, we go to the barbecue, and the conversation around the barbecue, the conversation around the dinner table has changed over the last couple years, hasn't it? The last 2 years has woke up everyone. And as it starts to hit our pocketbooks this year, all of these people are about to get voted out. These people won't be able to walk in the streets. And the worst of them, Biden crime family, have committed pretty heinous acts. And may it all be exposed, and may God take care of it. May God take care of it. And may God be with us as we resist these people. These people are sick. These people are absolutely sick. And the program is live like peasants. These ESG scores, they're going to, and the plan is to track it all on the blockchain technology. We've already talked about that. The plans for the distributed ledger technology tracking all of this. Here in Germany, utility giant Uniper has had to tap its winter gas reserves as Russia cuts energy deliveries. Normally, at this time of the year, they would be building natural gas reserves for the coming winter. This is why we say the bottom is not in on this channel. This is why we say we still have a storm lasting another 6 to 12 months, at least another 6 to 12 months of hard times, of reset, of the whole system collapsing, being demolished, and having to build anew. We were talking this morning on my weekly Discord call, and we were talking about how it's not like we're adding an addition to your already existing house. We're building another 1,000 square foot addition onto the already existing house. No. Our house burnt down. Our house blew away in a tornado, and we have to rebuild the whole structure. That is the predicament. That is the situation that we're in regards to the financial system and everything else in the political landscape as well. And most of these leaders have already stepped down. But now you're seeing this situation over here in Europe. It's very bad. Not only is Europe going through a very serious heat wave right now, they are also going into a dark, dark winter with their reserves being used. Right now, as we speak, the reserves are being used at a time when they should be building them up going into this winter. So We will continue to talk about exposing the truth. We will continue to talk about our prepping before we get to the hype crypto, bro. Before we stick to crypto, bro. Because it's really important to understand how these world stage events are going to play out. And that's why we're investing the way we are. When I get to the end of this show and I talk about the most elite team in crypto and Ripple's board of directors and the whole team that they've assembled there, before we get there, we're going to explain the whole background and why it matters so much on the people that they have assembled on their team. When we look at the Middle East, which Ripple has plenty of partners over there, Kim.com says Saudi Arabia aims to increase oil production by 10% by 2027 and says unrealistic policies to reduce emissions will lead to unprecedented inflation and increase in energy prices, meaning Biden got nothing for kissing Saudi ass and was told to forget about his climate plan. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm about to show some clips from my mentor, Dan Pena, and he's been talking about how these guys can produce oil at less than $5 a barrel. And they have such an abundance of oil over there in the Middle East, and they're absolutely full of shit when they say that they're, running out, right? They're absolutely full of it. And they have the ability to produce it at less than $5 a gallon. They're in complete control of the market over there. And they know that the green agenda is going to fail. Just like I covered in the previous tweet there, the ESG scores, and all the highest ESG scores are the countries that are literally running out of gas, running out of oil, running out of energy, running out of cash, and millions of people are hitting the streets. But you got a good ESG score, guys. Good job. And we just once again get embarrassed on the world stage events, the world stage, as we send Sleepy Creepy over to Saudi Arabia to negotiate deals and act like he's doing something over there. What do I do next? Has to get directed and have his hand held by all of his handlers over there. Another embarrassment on the world stage. Now, another tweet from Kim.com. I told you what would happen before the U.S. proxy war started. Russia is winning. Putin's strategy to weaken the U.S., NATO, and EU plays out as predicted. The no-gas EU winter will collapse global markets and ring in a new multipolar order, BRICS plus USD dominance ends. And so that means BRICS nations plus whoever decides to join and partner up with BRICS. And that's the end of the US dollar reserve currency status, already underway. And we were talking about this in one of our recent live shows about how we've already lost the financial war. We're already losing it. Unless we got backdoor deals with Ripple XRP. Unless we got some backdoor deals for our Ripple XRP. And we're going to be able to reclaim that new world reserve digital currency. We might get a little cut of that deal. We'll get to that at the end of this show. Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you could smash that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate that. And shout out to the super chats. We got Spicy here with the 5 spot. Greatly appreciate that. We got Spicy with another 10 spot. Spicy already making it rain with the super chats tonight. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. We're just getting started. My mentor, Dan Pena, the old man falling off his rocker, making all these crazy claims that all came true. He said here today, Black Swan event closer than you think. Don't listen at your own peril, and you don't own enough Bitfuck, even on margin, to save yourselves. LOL, watch. And he gives us a link to his video from 1 year ago. And like I said earlier, we're going to drop some swear words. Dan Pena calls Bitcoin Bitfuck. I love it. Oh, the Bitcoin boys, they don't like that. They do not like that. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get this clip to play for you guys. But he predicted this perfectly. And let me show you. He predicts 3 things. We already got the war with Mr. Putin. And you're going to hear the other 2. Folks, check it out.
I'm announcing today, I'm putting my ass on the line. I'm telling you, there is a Black Swan event coming. A Black Swan event coming. I don't know if we're going to war with Putin. I don't know if another corona is going to come out that is not curable.
You know it's coming.
I don't know whether the Federal Reserve is going to finally implode.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but it's coming. Because every massive bull market needs to find an excuse to correct.
Dan's old. He's nearly 80 years old. But you sit here, he put this out a year ago. All three of those things are about to unfold. And you could kind of argue that they already did. Because Dan was one of the few people that said that we were going to have 3, 4, 5 waves of Corona and that we were going to live with some version of it forever. And I didn't like hearing that. Just like the Bitcoin boys get offended when Dan talks about Bitcoin. I didn't like hearing that. But it's come true. It's come true. We've had 4 or 5 waves. Looks like it's been a nice summer, but they got some plans for this fall winter. And we'll be going back into the season once again. And that we still have a health crisis underway regardless. So that's still playing out. And then we have the war with Putin. And then he says the Federal Reserve is going to implode. Well, we're seeing the US dollar lose its reserve currency status. And we're seeing that the country is bust as well. So we're waiting for the financial reset part of it. That was the third thing that he's saying could lead to a black swan. But there's also a dozen other factors and events that could lead to it as well. Now, Dan also is the old man that said, if we figured out who created Bitcoin, it would go to zero instantly. Okay. In another clip, he's seen saying that it was Putin. But he since has walked back on saying that it's Putin. But I believe that when we find out who did create Bitcoin, which we're going to figure out that it was about 3 to 4 people. It was a group of people. This is what the Department of Homeland Security just said in an interview that's now circulating amongst the web. I shared it with my Discord. It's circulating around Twitter right now. Department of Homeland Security saying that they sent an agent to meet Satoshi in San Francisco and that it was like 3, 4 people. So it was a group. And just like all the other recent, big platforms like Facebook, they're all CIA funded and backed. Backdoors for the 3-letter agencies completely. So whether Putin created Bitcoin, whether, we ever do find out who created Bitcoin, which, I think that we will here eventually, Dan says that it's going to go to zero instantaneously. I don't know about going to zero, but it's going to get beat up. It's going to get hammered. And just the implosion of Tether, when Tether gets completely exposed and the market realizes that Tether does not have the reserves that they claim they do, that's going to be enough of a catalyst to bring down Bitcoin itself. But he's talking about this black swan event and sharing it once again, saying here that you don't own enough Bitfuck, even on margin, to save yourselves, right? We talk about here on this channel having cryptocurrency, but we also talk about having other assets as well, because we understand that during this time, during the black swan event, the multiple black swan events that we're kind of seeing already play out and are coming down the road, you need to have more than just crypto, right? So that's why we talk about the other assets that we hold, our full investment thesis. In relation to that, the Wolf of All Street says, feels like crypto companies hired the entire Lehman Brothers 2008 risk management department. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like some of these didn't even have a risk management department. It was how much cash can we generate as fast as possible. That's all. It was all greed. 99% of it, all greed. Now, I'm going to cover some data and we're going to look at real estate real quick before we get into the cryptocurrency story real quick, because we got to watch this real estate situation. Does it ever get more clear? This is the U.S. Empire State Manufacturing data. New orders 6 months ahead. You can see on this chart that we are now to levels that we haven't seen since the great financial crisis of 07-08 and the tech bust of 2000-2001. Okay? So the data is all there. The average new mortgage payment is up 85% since January of 2022. So the average mortgage payment on the median house in America has nearly doubled. which is causing inventory to double in some markets. Like this is the Metro Phoenix area here in the United States. Inventory doubles in 3 months. Updated this monthly graph that uses data published by the Metro Phoenix MLS. The number of single-family detached houses listed for sale in Metro Phoenix in mid-July is double the number in mid-April, 3 months earlier. So this is just one market, but we've been watching this, okay? Real estate is a localized issue. It's a localized asset, localized market, I should say. So we're seeing some markets are getting absolutely hammered, right? And we're seeing data that we haven't seen since the previous financial crisis of 07-08. We're seeing data that we haven't seen since the tech bust. I would compare the same things happening in real estate. It's a little bit different. Real estate's going to get hit, but it's a little bit different than 07-08. But then when we relate it to the tech bubble, well, that's the cryptocurrency space. And that's all the new high-flying tech companies that are still overvalued because there was so much cheap money in the system. So, the stock markets are being brought back to reality. Real estate's being brought back to reality. Cryptocurrency is getting wiped out. Some of these projects won't even recover. This person, and I haven't confirmed this data point, but he says 53% of the outstanding mortgages in Canada are adjustable rate mortgages. They were told by the Bank of Canada that they were not going to be raising interest rates, that there was really no chance of them raising interest rates. And here they are, they've nearly doubled those interest rates. And when all of these people, nearly half the country up there in Canada that has a mortgage, has to go and negotiate their new 5-year loan, well, their payments could be 50 to 100% more. Canada has some high-flying markets there in Vancouver, Toronto. Crypto Bags, thank you for the 10 spot, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Thank you. This is another article of some home builders. Says Zellman, quote, "The builder on our call just threw out that his cancellation rate was 45%. And I talked to a builder in Orlando yesterday. His can rate was 55%. This is the number of people that are backing out of new home builds." So these developments are going through it. And I'm seeing it. I drove by one today in my area. Brand new, in the nicest area around here. Basically $800,000 to $1 million homes starters. Actually, there's a new development down the road that they're all $800,000 to $1 million. And all of the existing homes are as well. Very beautiful area, $1 million homes. They got the beautiful signs. It's all set up. New development. They got some cute little name. There's one house built on the first lot that's half built. Not even finished. Half built. And I just drive by and I just laugh. I said, we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. And we knew that some of these guys were going to get caught. Some of these guys are going to get caught for sure. Okay, so, we're just navigating each asset class with the strategies that are going to take us through, preserve our wealth, and help us take advantage of these opportunities. Spicy, I appreciate that super chat, man. Zach, what price will XRP be on September 23rd? Will the salmon be biting on October 12th? Is it going to rain on October 25th? I appreciate the questions, man. Hey, we're in a ride for a while, and we're just ready to pounce on the deals when they come through, man. We're sitting on cash right now is the big thing. We're sitting on cash no matter when it happens, no matter if it's the full moon of this month, next month. They sacrifice the market on a Tuesday. We're here for it, man. We're waiting for XRP to go below 25 cents. We're waiting for Bitcoin to maybe clear out to 12K. We're waiting for a 75 basis point, 1% potentially. They might even do 100 basis points, 1% interest rate hike at the next Fed FOMC rate hike. We might as well start calling the Fed meetings the rate hikes, the rate hike meetings. What do you think is going to happen to this real estate market when we continue with the interest rate hikes? The buyers are already sitting this out. Many people. I'm looking at an off-market deal right now, and it's a deal. So if it goes through, it's a deal. But guys, folks, real estate, precious metals. Real estate, we're looking for deals. Precious metals, for me, I just buy them at whatever price just because I want to get my hands on offline assets like precious metals. So when the system goes down, I have something to barter with. I have something to flee the country with, flee the area with. You don't know what you're going to need it for. The gains are going to be sick too, man. But hey, when the grid goes down, what are you going to trade? Okay. So I'm buying at any price for precious metals. I don't even care what it is. Next time I make it into the coin dealer, I'll just be buying whatever I can throw at it. If I can throw whatever it is, I'll just throw it at the precious metals. That's fine. Sitting on cash for real estate deals right now. And then with cryptocurrency, I'm waiting for 25-cent XRP, and I'm going to back up the truck in a major way. I'm backing up. We're loading up the truck big time. Been waiting for this moment. And I have FOMO because of what I'm going to cover at the end of this show, which we're making it. We're close. We're close to talking about the most elite team in crypto. I have major FOMO after seeing the volume that we saw on the last hour of trading on Friday, which we're going to get to that. Major FOMO, but I stay here with patience because I'm still saying that the bottom is not in. We are going much lower. Coinbase, let's talk here though real quick. Exchanges, we're going to talk crypto now. Coinbase has $6 billion in cash plus large crypto reserves. They will be fine. With that being said, I just transferred everything off. That is from Jungle Inc. And I 100% agree. I think that Coinbase will make it. I don't think that they're going to go bankrupt. Okay. But that being said, we don't trust any of these exchanges. And we most definitely are getting all of our cryptocurrencies off these exchanges. We don't trust any of them. Do we do deals with them? Yes. We send them our money. We put it into a stable coin that we hope is backed by something. While we wait, we place our limit orders. We're going to buy, all these assets when they go on sale. We're loading up. We have no fear. We understand what we hold. Okay? But we buy the assets and then we get them off the exchanges as fast as possible. But I do believe that Coinbase is going to be able to make it through to the other side. With that being said, we're monitoring. Jed McCaleb's Taco Stand wallet has about 1 million XRP left. Okay, so we'll see when he ends up selling that off. As I just referred to, XRP Network saw a major anomaly to end the week with a rapid surge up to 18.7 billion in XRP trading volume in the final hour on Friday. Why do we keep on getting all of these anomalies with XRP? Is it just, weird coincidences, weird deals going on? Hey, the whales decided to hop in real quick, which is exactly what it is. The people in the know are hopping in and loading up. We were talking about this here in my Discord weekly call this morning. Brad is one of the few CEOs, I should say, one of the few. There's a couple others, but there's literally just a few that are actually sitting at the table with central bankers. So Brad, in this interview here, he's speaking at this conference, which is not the European Central Bank Forum. He did correct this underneath. This is the Point Zero Forum in Zurich, Switzerland. It was put on by the Monetary Authority of Singapore and a couple others. Okay? But Brad is saying in this conference, he says, quote, he just casually drops this. I got here late last night because I was at a central banker conference in Europe yesterday. Okay? So while the rest of the space is folding, the founders are fleeing, we have Brad speaking at the table with the central bankers. Now, I've been meaning to cover this news as well. Michael Barr, who was formerly on the board of advisors, he was an advisory position to Ripple. He has now joined and been confirmed as the Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision. Now, why is this important? Well, before this, Michael Barr was serving as an advisor role to Ripple. Okay. Before that, he was working in the Treasury Department, and he was also a major player in the Dodd-Frank bill that basically was the last time the banks have been restructured in any sort of major way. So he wasn't just, hanging out at the Treasury Department, okay? Played a key role, former Department of Treasury official, okay? And then he went on to do the restructuring of the banks with the Dodd-Frank Act, okay? And he also was an advisor at Ripple. When we continue on and look, we have Ripple connections at the Federal Reserve right now. We have former connections at the White House. When we scroll down here to the board of directors here on the Ripple page, Craig Phillips was working, he was working under Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. Craig Phillips, okay? When we scroll on down, we have Sandy O'Connor, who is the head of regulation at JP Morgan Chase. What's being exposed right now with JP Morgan? Their illegal trading desk with gold. All part of the new financial system being rolled out. All of the manipulation of gold must be exposed. Sandy O'Connor, head of regulation at JP Morgan Chase, one of the biggest banks in the world that's being exposed for manipulating the gold markets right now as we speak. Oh, but then we slide over to Rosie Rios, who was the 43rd treasurer of the United States, who said, we have the gold at, what vault? That's not Fort Collins. Wherever our gold vault is. She said the gold is there. You guys can remind me in the chat. We slide on over to Michael Warren, who served under the Clinton and the Obama administration at Treasury as well. When we go back up here to Anya Manuel, she served at the State Department. Okay? And then the other former board member was Ken Kirsten, who also was part of the White House under Trump's administration. When we roll up here, we see Chris Larson, the executive chairman, Brad Garlinghouse also serving on the board. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the team here. But folks, don't you get it? Don't you get it? This is the most elite team in crypto, and we have the head of regulation coming to join the board of directors. 43rd Treasurer of the United States. Treasury official under Obama and Clinton. Member of the Treasury White House during 2017, 2018, Craig Phillips. State Department, Anya Manuel. David Schwartz, not only did he create the XRP ledger in 2012 with Jed McKeelub and Arthur Brito, he might be Satoshi, actually. Wouldn't that be funny? Probably not, but he did create the XRP ledger, but he also patented blockchain technology back in 1988. Okay? Brad Garlinghouse used to run over there at Yahoo, one of the few tech startups that actually made it and survived through that dot-com bubble. This is the most elite team in crypto. And right now, in real time, we have their former advisors being confirmed as the Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision. After historically having a past of the Dodd-Frank, the restructuring of the banks. So when we talk about gold being suppressed, okay, we got connections there. Because we have the former head of regulations, Sandy O'Connor, on the board of directors at Ripple. Formerly, she was the head of regulations at JP Morgan, which is being exposed for manipulating the gold market right now in a Chicago court. Okay? We have the former treasurer of the United States who was in charge of our new currency, and she was in charge of our country's gold supply, also joining the board of directors at Ripple. And now we are seeing the victory of getting to see the Hinman emails, the documents related to that. We are going to get some exposure in this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. When this thing is done, it's not a matter of it giving us gains. I'm not worried about gains. I'm worried about, is this the transition team to save America's ass with the new financial system rolling out and a new reserve currency being set? And I'm not saying that XRP is that reserve currency. Maybe they do have the gold. What is it Fort Knox? It's Fort Knox. Yeah, it is Fort Knox. Maybe they do have the gold. They are prepared to roll out a new reserve currency status. Maybe they are prepared to roll out a currency that is backed by gold. Maybe they have partnered up with Ripple. It's going to be built on top of the XRP ledger. It's going to be interoperable. Okay. And maybe, just maybe, our Federal Reserve Treasury Department, someone here has worked out a deal, and either our Treasury Department or our Federal Reserve is going to be receiving some of that XRP from that escrow from Ripple. Where is Jed McCaleb's XRP going? We don't know. We know it's gone now, which we need to get some XRP researchers on that, trying to figure out if we can track where those transactions were going. But we got to try to figure out where that went. But I think that when it's all said and done, deals have been done with Jed McCaleb's XRP. Deals are prepared to be done with that Ripple escrow. This is the most staged lawsuit in the history of the SEC. And when we look, this is the most elite team in crypto. One other scenario that I want to throw out, and I was going to put this tweet out. What happens when Ripple decides to pay a dividend to all Ripple stock shareholders in XRP? Completely hypothetical. This is just a random thought that I had the other day, but I wanted to throw it out there. That could be one of the most desired stocks in the history of the stock market, potentially. Definitely one of the hottest stocks over the next, decade or so, as the new financial system rolls out, as the reset occurs. What if Ripple said, we're going to pay a dividend to our shareholders in XRP? You realize how much demand they could drive for that Ripple stock just by doing that? They got plenty enough to drive demand to the Ripple stock. And the Ripple IPO, the pre-IPO shares, because they haven't gone public yet, they're waiting for the case to wrap up. But the pre-IPO shares that you can get on Link2 and these other platforms sell out immediately. So there's already plenty of demand for the pre-IPO shares. But once they do go public, that's going to be after the SEC case is concluded. We'll have clarity for XRP. You're going to see Ripple stock. You're going to see XRP. You're going to see mainstream news telling us, hey, here are the deals that are now being announced, which it's going to be deals with Treasury, Fed, Ripple, 300, 400, 500 banks. Nearly all banks and financial institutions will be tapped in on the back end, depending on how much of these markets we end up getting. And I've been covering in my most recent shows, we have a derivatives market that is a shadow banking asset that we can't even track how many quadrillions are in that asset class. And what were we told by the XRP insiders back 2017, 2018? Cross-border payments was a test. XRP was truly designed for the derivatives market. When you tie this whole thing together, as we say in the XRP community, I have zero doubt about XRP being a part of this new financial system and providing gains for us. My hope, my prayer is that there is some sort of deal being done on the back end that is going to save us here in America. Now, I just want a level playing field amongst the world. I don't think that the United States has to have the reserve currency. I think that it would be better suited to have a neutral reserve currency like a gold or like an XRP. We could have maybe a combination of the two. But we also need to have a level playing field where Russia's going to be able to back their currency by whatever the hell they want. Whether they're backing it by oil, natural gas, or gold, or a combination of the few, all tracked on blockchain so that the people can see, hey, we have the backing of our currency and everyone can see it. This is what the level playing field is all about. It doesn't have to be about US dominance worldwide. I just want a level playing field. And I want us here in America to realize that if we don't have these type of deals occurring, if there isn't some sort of deal worked out, and maybe it's not Ripple, maybe it's not Ripple XRP, who else is going to do that deal? Who else has an asset that could provide that type of value for our Federal Reserve or our Treasury Department? Which, just so we're clear, Trump essentially moved the Federal Reserve within the Treasury Department under his term. Okay, but nonetheless, whatever, however you want to dice it up, I hope that a deal has been done, and that's why I don't just, dismiss the buyback theory completely. Will it happen? I don't know. Do I need it to happen? No. Would it be cool? Okay, maybe. Would they probably shortchange us? Yes. Would it be battled out in court? It's just so hypothetical, man. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is we have discovered where the value is at. It's not in 99% of cryptos. It's not in all these high-flying stocks that are completely overvalued, and some of them barely turn a profit. It's not in Bitcoin. So my argument the whole time I've been making content here is, if it's not XRP, if it's not Ripple, who is it? Show me your evidence. Show me your numbers, your data. Put together your story. Give me your logic. I'm an adult. I'm not afraid to, have the truth smack me in the face and be willing to admit that I was wrong. If this whole thing doesn't play out like I think it will be, I'll come on here and I'll say I was wrong. Sorry, guys. I was completely wrong. But I haven't seen a story that's convinced me otherwise. I haven't seen a cryptocurrency project that turns me on. That's my own personal taste, but I just haven't seen one that really turns me on. XLM, kind of cute. The ISO 222 coins, very solid. I do like them, very solid. And there's parts of this community, in the XRP community, that don't want to touch conspiracies. Well, bro, look at the Federal Reserve. That's a complete conspiracy. Look at all the corruption that's being exposed worldwide. It's all conspiracies, bro. It's just a matter of finding out whether or not the conspiracy's real, how deep it goes, and what we can do about it. Because that's the problem that I see in all the truth or conspiracy theory community, is that a lot of people are spending so much time trying to figure it out, not taking action. You need to spend equal time figuring it out, taking action. Otherwise, you're going to get wiped out during the financial tsunami that's already here onshore. While we're waiting to get the official confirmation of recession, people are getting wiped out right now as we speak. Equities being lost. Portfolios are down 50, 70, 80, 90%. Some people lost everything because they had everything on a Celsius. People had everything in Luna. People had everything in all of this crap. And that's even including the stock market. So for me, at this point, there's a lot of people covering all the theories. I scroll through TikTok and I'm just like, wow, all these people sharing all this stuff. And we got to use discernment, because there's still a lot of fake crap out there. There's a lot of fake stories that try to get us one way or the other. It's a hard time to find the truth, even though we have an abundance of information. Think of that reality. We have more information available at ease than ever in history, but it's more difficult to find the truth. In this community, I think that we have a great balance of understanding the truth, understanding what theories are real, what, for me, I'm not here to talk about aliens all night, bro. I once in a while we can talk about aliens, but I'm not here to talk about aliens all night. I'm not here to talk about flat earth globe all night. For me, the financial aspect is the main focus, and making sure that everyone is prepped We got to be prepped up and we got to be taking action, whether we run businesses, whether we're investing in real estate, whether we do commodities tradings, whether we trade stocks, whether we're invested in the equities market, whether we are trading cryptos. No matter what we're doing, I'm more focused on the strategy of how do we survive and thrive during these times and make it through to the other side. I've seen enough evidence that, tells me most of what we're being told on mainstream news is a lie, and we should do the opposite of what they're saying. We should expect the opposite of what they're saying. Interesting timing that we have Jed McCaleb is going to be running out of his XRP as the Mt. Gox holders get some of their Bitcoin returned to them. So there's going to be about 140, 150,000 Bitcoin being returned to the Mt. Gox holders, the victims of the Mt. Gox hack. At that same time, Jed McCaleb is going to be running out of his XRP, so he wasn't involved in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit at all, and he was never questioned or asked about the Mt. Gox hack as well. He was able to dip out right before that occurred. And then the third part that gets interesting for me is, where's Jed McCaleb's XRP going? I love this comment. So at this point, let's go rapid fire Q&A. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in with me tonight. Cheers. Let's have a fun little rapid fire Q&A session to end up this session, though. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. If you could smash that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate that. And you can head to my website if you guys want to get in touch with me or access our community. Greatly appreciate all of you guys. Let's go rapid fire Q&A. I love this point. Food and ammunition stocked enough for now. I just want to buy 2 times more real estate and crypto in the next 6 months, but I have $9,000 in credit card debt. Yeah, that's the key thing, is getting out of that bad debt as fast as possible, especially when we look at these credit cards. All these programs just completely screw over the people. When we look at the adjustable rate mortgages that are going to be a nightmare for people that are having to go and refinance their mortgages because they're in 5-year adjustable rate mortgages or whatever program they got suckered into. And basically they were told, they were lied to, that they weren't ever going to be raising interest rates. At Bank of Canada, the Federal Reserve was saying, it's not likely that we raise interest rates anytime soon. Here we are, they rug pull the whole economy by raising interest rates 2 times, or basically 100%. Sorry, they basically doubled our interest rate. Okay? So I understand the situation, man. I'm right there with you. And what I did today, I will tell this to all of you guys right now. I was talking with my Discord this morning, and I said, guys, I have FOMO. I really want to buy XRP right now, even though I'm expecting XRP to go lower. I have major FOMO right now just because what I see just turns me on with XRP. And but today I went to Costco, took care of my essentials first. It had been a minute, and we just need to go grocery shopping. And it's ridiculous what that Costco bill was. You guys can take a guess at how much that was, but unbelievable what we're spending at Costco these days. Crazy. But I did that before I go back up the truck and load up heavy on XRP when we do go lower. And I'm also going to not make sure I drain all of my cash so that I can't take advantage of the real estate deals that we're looking at right now. So I have my priorities straight. I have a serious strategy for how we're about to allocate the cash that we've set on the sidelines. Now, the important thing that I've been talking about in my business development program is how, leading up to this point, I didn't rack up debt in my businesses that I couldn't sustain. And essentially, I have no debt right now. I just picked up a new piece of equipment that's going to change my business completely. But other than that, we have no debt. So it's all cash flow, baby. And we have cash on the sidelines. So we're ready to bounce, take deals. And we're also able to handle more business right now. We're growing right now. So we positioned ourselves for this time, for the recession, for the pullback, and we knew that our competitors were going to be folding. Not only am I doing that in my little landscape business, but I'm doing that in the media business. Where are all these crypto bros? They're gone, aren't they? They're making little appearances here and there. I see a lot of them traveling around. A lot of them are traveling, enjoying traveling. Which, hey, to each their own. Show your audience a bunch of shit, take the money and run, and go about your life. If you can live with that, God will judge you, and, God bless you. Hope it works out. Hope you can sleep well at night. Here, what we're doing, I'm outworking all these guys. I'm showing up every day. I might not make a TikTok every day, but I'm putting live content out nearly 6-7 days a week. I'm putting something out 7 days a week. Showing up 7 days a week. That's not for everybody, but I'm trying to maximize my opportunities here. I'm trying to maximize the transfer of wealth into my bank account, into my financial balance sheet. I just looked, the amount of wealth that was lost was like a few $1 trillion. I think it was for the average middle class home. Essentially, it was some data point that I shared with my Discord this morning. Essentially, like 3 billion was lost from the working class or whatever, and nearly 3 trillion was gained by the 1% or the elite, whatever, the rich. Basically, confirming what we've been talking about, that this is the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, because it was the most amount of money that's been transferred to the rich ever. Now, I don't know, maybe you could adjust that for inflation and who knows when you go way back. But in modern times, we call this the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, and we got the numbers, the data to prove it. And that's what my focus is on right now. We've done no promotional deals. We just continue to put out the truth. If you want to join our community, it's all there. If you want to buy some merch, it's all there. And we have our program. But other than that, I have nothing to sell. And for me, it's just about, hey, I'm trying to save as many people. Hop aboard, Noah's Ark. The flood is coming, and the flood's here now. Our boat has already set sail. It's just we haven't pulled up the gangplank yet and said no more people joining us. We're still letting everyone in their dinghies catch up to us, right? They're catching up to us. We've already set sail. We've already flown to safety, but we're still trying to bring people. We're giving them the destination. Hey, meet us at this waypoint. This is where we're going to be meeting up. And that's essentially what we're doing with dropping all of our strategy after we break down the complete truth, the complete story. And I know that, a 50-minute piece of content, a 50-minute rant isn't for everyone. I got to explain myself. I don't just throw out numbers. I don't talk about, all of this stuff happening without having the information, the evidence, the data points to back it up. Scooter, thank you for the 5 spot. Hit us with the truth of XRP logo is the top of the guide stones. Well, this is pretty obvious symbolism. The as above, so below, right? The X has just plenty of symbolism within that. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so Craig Phillips and Ken Kurson were both connected to the Trump administration, but when you look at the Ripple board of directors, they have connections to Obama's administration, Clinton's administration. Now we have connections with the Biden administration. And so Federal Reserve, Treasury, State Department, JP Morgan, head of regulation joins the board of directors at Ripple, a company that's being sued by the SEC. When you put together this whole story, it's just, I was going to title it Most Elite Team in Crypto, No Competition. Because that's how I feel. I just feel like there's no competition. There's no one that's even coming close or has any sort of program, any sort of capability, any sort of value unlock once we do get a regulatory level playing field, no one has the adoptions and the partnerships to announce, to roll out the network adoption. I mean, there's going to be more than Ripple and XRP winning. I'm not saying that. It's just the potential for some sort of serious closed door meeting roll out of a new financial system where XRP plays a part. That's what I'm talking about. I think that there's something there. I just don't know how in depth it goes. And I don't think that it's irresponsible to talk about these types of theories. And it is what has determined how I invest. A fat bag of XRP, you know. Do I think the XRP will drop below 30 cents again? Yes. I'm waiting for 25 cents to buy. I think that it can go below 20 cents again, though. But it's already been so suppressed, so don't wait around and don't trust the exchanges to get your orders to go through when XRP dumps. When we have these wicks down, when we have these quick flash crashes, do not expect to be able to pick up your order for it to go through. I mean, try. I'm going to be trying. I'm going to be trying to accumulate, but these exchanges, man, they're running out of liquidity. They're running out of supply. They're playing games. Mentalek says the quantum financial system will be dominated by about 10 to 20 coins and tokens. Yeah, kind of similar to what we see with the tech bubble. There was a dozen major players that are still around today, right? We saw the same thing in social media. There's still only like half a dozen companies that are really the main platforms. So I've picked up some XLM, XDC. I don't own any of these other coins right now, but I will be accumulating them when we go lower, which I do expect us to go lower. I'll show you guys the chart that I'm working with. Mr. Lucky, have I seen Institutional Investor 2.0 on Twitter? Yeah, I think that that's just another account that's just saying shit, to be honest with you guys. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's just another person that's just saying shit. So, I mean, that for me, all these anon Twitter accounts that just say stuff that's like pretty bold. I don't know. You can only put so much value on that. So, okay, so let's take a look here at the chart. This is the Bitcoin chart, the daily chart, and I told, basically saying over the whole last week that I thought that we were going to dump into the full moon, which was July 13th, and you can see that's that dark circle here. And we reached down right below 19,000 briefly going below 19,000, and we have since recovered. Okay, and so what I was looking at here on this chart is the dump that we had at the beginning of June. Okay, we had about a 45% dump for Bitcoin right around the full moon of June. Okay, so here we are a month later looking at this chart, and I shared here, I said we have the full moon coming on July 13th, so I knew that we were going to be moving to the downside. I didn't think that we were going to get this 45% move down to 12K just yet, but I'm looking for this to come in sometime in the next month or two. And even if it takes longer, maybe it might take 2 to 3 months. This is the move to the downside that I'm looking to occur, is 45%. Okay? And so we're going to see, this is what played out at the beginning of June. And if we did a similar move, it takes us down to 12K for Bitcoin. We also have the Mt. Gox data. There's the Mt. Gox drop taking place next month. There's other catalysts as well. The Shemitah year is going to be ending in September, so that's another part of the timeline that we're looking at. But you could drag this move down. I mean, it's just take your pick on when it's going to occur. August, September, October. I just think sometime between now and the end of the year, we are going to be reaching down to that 12K level. We will see a similar move. And, see how quickly it happens. These are daily candles. where we go all the way up from 32, basically 33, 32.5, all the way down to 17.6 for Bitcoin over the course of about, a week and a half. Basically, this whole week was just red to the downside. 45% move for Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at the XRP chart. So this is what I shared with my Discord over the last couple of weeks. Is this chart? During that same time frame where Bitcoin dumped 45%, XRP only went 33%. So a 33% drop. So if we get something similar, that's going to take us below 25 cents. Sometime between now and the next month, that could definitely come in. We're basically just in this sideways accumulation area over the past couple weeks here. See on the chart, we're just moving sideways over the last couple weeks. But before that, we got that 33% dump. XRP was at about 43 cents, all the way down to 28 cents. So if we get something similar, we will be going down 23 cents. We could even touch below 23 cents. Okay. For me, I'm going to be trying to buy as soon as we touch below 25 cents, I'll be trying to buy. Okay. So I'm not so concerned so much on the time of when this occurs. I'm just looking at the moves that we've been taking down, and I think that we can continue to the downside. Another 33% for XRP, taking us below 25 cents. Another super chat from Dexplorer. If you can hit your total XRP number target at 30 cents to 32 cents, secure it and consider it any further a drop, a chance to lower your DCA, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a great point. Great point. I already accumulated, most of my average price is at this level, right? So I got in early. I was thankful. But here we are once again back at this 30-cent price level. So for me, I'm trying to stay patient. I'm trying to wait till we go in lower, and then I'm going to be trying to go in hard. But like I've been saying, I have FOMO right now. I want to be buying right now. And if I didn't have the bag I already have, and the bag that I've been stacking to during this bear market, I didn't think I was going to be able to reach these levels before XRP pumped the bag that I've accumulated. And I mean, golly, if they're going to give us this opportunity, if they're going to give us this sale, I'm most definitely going to be taking advantage of it. Okay, I feel like I've been ranting nonstop. Let's go rapid fire Q&A. Rapid fire Q&A. Thank you for tuning in, guys. TikTok, I'm still here with you. How are you guys doing, TikTok? Yeah, I understand that you guys can't see my chart, TikTok. I'm sorry. Okay, what else are we working with, guys? How many people do you think that hold XRP from early 2017 when it was half a cent? Very few. Very few, but still quite a few. I mean, there's a lot of XRP holders that have been around for a while, because most people that got into Bitcoin early bought bags of XRP during that time as well. If you look at all of the Bitcoin maxis, nearly all of them hold a moon bag of XRP. All of them. What's your opinion on the previous Shemitah year, 2017, didn't have any major crash happen? I haven't looked at that one, but if you look back at 08, obviously we had the great financial crisis there. And then if you look at 01, we had 9/11. And we also had the tech bubble had just burst as well. So if you look at previous Shemitah years, we had major shakeups. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to go grab one more adult beverage. We're going to have one more before we call it a night, and we will be doing rapid fire Q&A. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys could smash that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, I do apologize. I had to get permission to party with you guys for another 17 minutes. All right, we're zoomed in here. You have been loading up on ETH, even though I hate it. Yeah, man, I won't. I don't mess with ETH at all. We are at the critical moment of accumulation. Yeah, I think that that's why we saw that spike in volume, why we see all these glitches with XRP. I think there's big transfers happening behind the scenes. Maybe tests running on that private ledger. The private ledger could already be up and running basically at full capacity. Well, not full capacity, but basically full capabilities. It's just a matter of actually flipping the switch and settling the assets, settling the networks on the XRP ledger. So, yeah. Ethereum must love the SEC. Yeah, for me, it's just I don't want to be partaking in Ethereum because it was part of like a corrupt rollout of digital assets, of digital currencies for America. It's not that I want them to lose. It's just that I think that they engaged in corruption. They're still engaging in rolling out another security, ETH 2.0, and they're just so arrogant about it, and they thought that they had the best deal ever. And it's a joke when you consider the fact that Vitalik wanted to go work at Ripple. So he couldn't work for Ripple, so he started his little Ethereum deal. And just basically him in consensus with Joseph Lubin partnered up with, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wall Street boys, and the SEC, and just did this whole Ethereum free pass monopoly. That's a tainted part of U.S. American history. So maybe that's my own pride kind of getting in the way there. But I just can't hold Ethereum. I can't participate in that because I think it's holding back not only cryptos, but the whole world. We need this technology. The world needs this technology. It could be used for good. I understand that people want to use it for bad, and that's being rolled out right now as we speak. But this is holding back humanity. That's my whole issue with the Ethereum free pass. It's not about like, oh man, I'm bummed that my XRP bag hasn't pumped yet. It's about we're holding back humanity. The third world is getting killed when they send cross-border payments when they're not even worthwhile to the central bankers and all of these bankers to even give them bank accounts. They don't deem them even worthy of bank accounts. There's over 1 billion people that don't even have access to banks on this planet. And so the Ethereum free pass for me is all part of holding that back. And Ethereum is not a solution. That's the other part about this. It'd be one thing if Ethereum was actually what they set out to be, was actually getting things done like an efficient smart contracts platform that you could actually execute transactions and smart contracts on cheap and efficiently. That's not happening. It's a complete disaster. So, yeah, that's why I will not be holding any Ethereum ever. Ever. Titano staking? What are you talking? Titano staking, your thoughts, locked in APY for 3 years. I'm not doing that. I'm not. That's not my program that I'm doing. I haven't heard of it though. I have way too many NFTs on Ethereum. Exactly. Yeah. That's why a lot of people still have to hold Ethereum and use Ethereum. It's just to be able to get rid of their NFTs that have crashed in value. if we were going back to the gold standard, does that mean the XRP will be equal to 1 ounce of gold? How does it work? There's, different theories about how that is going to be done. For me, a traditional gold standard is only 40% backing. So the dollar wouldn't have to be completely backed by gold, or XRP wouldn't have to be completely backed by gold. But I think that what we're about to see is that gold is going to be settled up on the XRP ledger. There is going to be every single asset class settled on the XRP ledger, whether that's stocks, NFTs, metaverse, smart contracts, or just simple payments. It's all going to be happening on the XRP ledger because it's open source and decentralized. Now, most of the XRP is going to be tied up in the hands of the banks and financial institutions for wholesale payments. But you're going to see XRP handling parts of these asset classes. It's just a matter of how much are they going to get. You're going to see them handling parts of these networks. It's just a matter of how much are they going to get of Swift daily volume. When we see, I think gold might actually already be on the XRP ledger, actually. You have a bunch of other currencies that are already on the XRP ledger, a bunch of other cryptos. The XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange. Another part of the secret sauce with XRP is that the ledger itself is a DEX. You don't have to go to any of these exchanges. The XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange. No one can shut you down. I make the case that XRP has more utility and more value than gold. I think that XRP has way more value and utility than gold. Gold is only about a $9 or $10 trillion market cap. And when you look, gold, it has its different use cases, but nothing like XRP. Nothing like XRP. Now, obviously, XRP doesn't have so much, it can't be used in dentistry. It can't be put in phones like gold. But it can handle trillion-dollar problems on a daily basis. It can handle quadrillion-dollar networks efficiently. And it's one of the fastest and cheapest blockchains. That's why it has to be used like credit. So I was listening to one of the bigger XRP haters on TikTok talk about why XRP and Ripple aren't going to get adoption because you need to buy XRP to use the ledger. You need to buy XRP to use it. Okay, well, yeah. You also can get a line of credit from Ripple, though. See, and that's where this gets interesting. Is none of these players actually have to hold the XRP on their balance sheet. Now, will they have an incentive to, though? Yes. Yes, they will. And that's why XRP is going to go to a really high price. It's because people are going to have an incentive to hold it on their balance sheet as a reserve. But then they're also going to be utilizing XRP in these networks. But they could be holding it on their balance sheet, but then they're using Ripple's line of credit for their business transactions or their payment flows is all on through Ripple's liquidity hub, Ripple's line of credit, all of the different offerings that they have for banks and institutions. Meanwhile, the bank and institution is holding XRP on their balance sheet as well. That's where we go to a crazy price, is because all these people are going to be holding XRP. There's only going to be so much available for real utility, for the Swift network, for the, what was it, the API? Well, no, it wasn't API. I forget what network it was. There's a different network that does 50% of the real-time payments for UK, the UK Faster Payments Network, does 50% of those payments, and it has about 25 other corridors as well. They settle $14 trillion daily in that network. So Swift does about $5 to $6 trillion daily. This network, which includes about 25 different corridors, UK Faster Payments Network, is $14 trillion daily. The Nostro Vostro accounts is over $30 trillion locked up and tied up, held in accounts, sitting idle. And then when we go to the derivatives market, it's something crazy, right? So $6 trillion daily problem, $14 trillion daily problem. When we look at the clearinghouse in America that settles up the payments in the American banks, that's a $2 trillion daily problem. And banks will also want to play the market also before the crypto. They could never unless they were an investment bank. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Yep. Black market and bartering coming back. What are you talking about? Is someone? How can you leverage XRP? There's going to be a lot. Crypto Daddy says, I believe paper money will be gone in 10 to 15 years. Yeah, I think that they're going to get rid of the fiat currency as well. They've already done it in some of the countries. Yeah. And so basically, everyone's going to be transacting on the central bank digital currencies, on the open, no privacy on those networks. And then the black market and bartering will be huge as well, just like one of my Discord members mentions. Yeah, and we're ready for that. We have our precious metals stacked. We have vegetable gardens. We have farms. We have essentials. We have supplies. We have businesses. We provide services. We have skills. No matter what happens, we're going to be able to survive. And for many of us, no matter what happens, we have a business that is still going to be around, still going to be providing value. Tom with a 20 spot super chat. Tom, thank you. You know Zach's stream is fire when you turn off Owen Benjamin to tune in. I've seen him on TikTok a bunch. I don't really know who that is though, but I've seen him on TikTok a bunch, that Owen Benjamin guy. It's getting rowdy in the chat. It is getting rowdy in the chat. It's a late night session, so it is always a rowdy one. The banks want to custody retailers' crypto, exactly. And that's why they're all going to be accepting our XRP. They're all going to offer us loans. Hey, we'll give you loans in the central bank digital currency. Just come in and give us your XRP. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That is my quote unquote exit strategy, which is not really an exit strategy. I'm going to put up my XRP as collateral, pay off my loan, and still have my XRP. I'm never going to lose the XRP. That is my strategy. I will take my XRP, put it up as collateral so I can go buy cash flowing real estate, or I can go buy more businesses. Fidelity about to buy Chase. I have not heard of that. In 1 more hour, Jed should sell the last of his XRP. Yeah, he's about to. He's about to be out. 1 million XRP left for Jed McCaleb. From that taco stand wallet. That doesn't mean that he's not still holding on to it. Or he didn't give it to his friends. He used it to pay favors. Little party favors. Hey guys, I got the good stuff. A little bit of XRP over here. Oh, you're talking about Coinbase. Fidelity about to acquire Coinbase. Yeah, I think we're already seeing a bunch of mergers and acquisitions in the cryptocurrency space. Whole lot of M&A. Yeah, it's only going to increase as well. And like Three Arrows Capital, they were valued at like $4 billion, and now they're bankrupt, bust. So these platforms, these companies are just getting wrecked. So there's going to be a bunch of deals done. What am I sipping on? I'm sipping on Corona Light. Corona Rona. A little bit of Corona Light, though. Watching the dad bod. And we're in a recession, so I don't buy anything fancy. Although Corona's been marketing the heck the last couple years, I swear. Corona's been killing it. They're like twice as much as any regular beer, and they're the most light beer ever. I know that they're producing that for cheap. The Corona. Sipping on green tea, waiting on the red candles on the charts. There you go. That's one way to relax while we watch our portfolios drop. Yep. Mentellect, is the LCX exchange, you say it's one to look at if you want a piece of the rails outside of crypto itself. I need to look in that. There was another token. It was deemed a security token. Is that one? False flag galore coming. Yeah, we're going to see some false flags for sure coming through. Whole lot of craziness in the streets. Do I think that we're going to have another pullback soon? Yeah, not for a while though. Like I think that we're yeah, like it's coming. Yes. Actually, I should just say yes. Don't worry about timing. Just wait for it to come through and execute. Execute your trades when it comes through. Doesn't matter if we tank this month, next month, September, October. It's coming. We are going lower. We have not bottomed out. I wish I could be hype, which I am hype. No one's more bullish on what we've invested in, on the opportunities that we're taking advantage of right now than me. But in the meantime, yes, we're going lower. Chef Dave, thank you for the 20 spot. All the best to you and your family, Zach. We're close, bud. Yeah, thank you, Chef Dave. I appreciate that, man. I'm starting to get way too many people locally. They're like, hey, man, I saw your TikTok. Hey. Like, when I see them, I just say, anything you saw was not financial advice. Good luck. God bless. And I run away. Anything you may have seen was not financial advice. Good luck. God bless. And I run. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm getting like way more people locally. It's crazy. All the stars are in London right now. That's interesting. Yeah. They say Flare will connect everything, but I don't think XRP needs Flare to function right. So how important Flare is worth going to be getting a bag or stick to XRP? For me, I'm going to be receiving Flare. Well, hopefully Coinbase gets their stuff together and I'm going to be receiving my Spark tokens. But I should be receiving the airdrop. So obviously that's cool. But XRP did just get smart contracts. XRP got an amendment made to it by Vite Win, who is the head of XRPL Labs, and they just added smart contracts, layer 1 smart contracts to the XRP ledger now. So now we have smart contracts. They just did NFTs. It's game over. We have all of the capabilities that you would need to use distributed ledger technology for on one of the best, most efficient and scalable blockchains. And at the very tippy top, we have the suits meeting and discussing, hey, you're going to be receiving 5 billion XRP from the escrow. You're going to be receiving 10 billion XRP. Jed's going to help you out over here. Hey, can you go advise Ripple for a couple years and then go become vice chair of the Federal Reserve right now? Michael Barr, can you please go do that, Michael? After leaving the Treasury Department and pushing through Dodd-Frank, one of the most historic changes to restructuring of the banking system. After doing that, can you please go advise Ripple? And then now we're going to put you in the Federal Reserve Vice Chair slot. Zero doubt about where we're going. End zone dice game 5 spot. Thank you. Would you transfer in and out of XRP on the Ledger platform? Well, you can use your cold storage, your Ledger device, yes. But you also can use the XRP Ledger through the Zum wallet. You can use it through the XRP toolkit. So there's plenty of ways that you can access the XRP Ledger, but you also can send and do some transactions with your Ledger device as well. Yeah. So two separate things there. I don't know exactly what you're talking about there, but yeah. Jed is going to get wrecked. Yeah, Jed's taken care of, though. Jed, he's going to be just fine. Is implementation still going to be in by November? We're starting to see implementation take place now. The Federal Reserve just said that they're going to be stalling till like, what was it, 2025 or 2023? They said they were stalling, which I think is BS. But nonetheless, the ISO implementation is already rolling out now. SWIFT member banks, which includes 11,000 banks across the world, have the opportunity to opt in now to ISO 222 standards. Okay? So many already are. It's already being done. All of the preparation for the new banking system, for the new financial system, is being done now on the back end. And if you speak to people that work at some of these banks, some of these larger banks, financial institutions on the back end, like people that are actually involved, they're talking about the new payment. Like if you just look at the Fed Pay Now system, which of course the US Faster Payments Council, Ripple just partnered up with them, of course. Okay. But the Fed Now is a separate deal. Fed Pay Now is $25,000 or less per payment. Okay. And then you're going to have real-time gross settlement happening at a larger payment level, but they're still working on that. But for right now, the Fed Pay Now is $25,000 or less payments. So they don't even handle that big a payment volume.